What's good, y'all? We back here with football Fridays with Five Star. We got a semifinal to talk about in college football, NFL playoffs starting tomorrow. So it's a good time to start talking a little bit more football. Good time to be back on the channel talking with you, Five Star. How you been?
I'm blessed, man. Great to be back. I missed all of the community who rock out with Skee and rock out with myself, man. I missed doing the show on Friday. I hit you. I was like, man, we had these holidays. We'd have missed a whole bunch of shows, man. Let's make sure that we get on it so we can take care of the people for the playoffs. You know, we work all year with this football stuff, man. It's a long journey. I'll be back all upset and sad, missing football again, probably about, let's see, maybe about June. Right now, I'm sick of it just like you are because it's so much work. But this is the time right now, man, that we get back our harvest for all of the work we do, all that digging in the dirt and all that rain and watering that we do throughout the year by learning these games, by watching them and putting in the work, man. And so now it's time to get paid off of it, bro.
Yeah, this is the best time of year. This one I love the football right here, the playoff. So,
Yeah. Happy New Year's
this,
to you too, brother. Happy New Year's to you all. Happy New Year's, Ski.
yep. Happy New Year's. Even though we already done,
We
we
were
already
together
linked up
on
on
New
New
Year's
Year's.
night. We seen each other, but they put it on there, so I got to shoot it back to the people. Yeah, we had a great time on New Year's, actually.
hmm Yeah, that double repo. I like that double repo I
You
had,
hit me
man.
with the double repo. We got a little Cosmo action, I got a little Fountain Blue, little Caesars action. And I was tripping off that Ski because they had all these posts about like Vegas is dead, New Year's Eve, no one was out. And I was like, what the hell these people put these lives out? It was packed. What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah, it was just like always.
Yeah.
All right, let's get these damn kids out the way first. We're gonna go
Badass kids.
badass kids. Oregon and Indiana opened up -3.5. Look like three. Yes, look like three at most shops right now. There is a 3.5 still out there.
Oh, it's down to
Total went.
three?
Yeah, it's down to three, but there's one 3.5.
Okay.
Total open 47 all the way up to 49. Man, I'm sure when I hear you talk about these teams, I'll be reminded. I've honestly been checked out of college for probably like over a month now. But
Right.
I know I've seen Oregon dominating teams all season long. Indiana, I don't feel like I've seen dominate like that, but they're the favorite here. Who you think's gonna win or cover?
Well, it's like this. You got better talent against a better team. So we'll see who wins out on that. Oregon has all the motivation in this game as last time that they faced Indiana at home, they end up having a horrible fourth quarter, going to fourth quarter with the lead, I believe. And they end up, or it might have been tied 2020. They end up losing 30 to 20, two interceptions by Dante Moore. Um, the whole thing that I got from that game was the physicality of Indiana. Oregon didn't match their physicality, and I think that Dan Lanning has used that as something to build on, as they were really strong last week, 23-0 victory over a really good Texas Tech team. The defense is humming. Dan Lanning's background is defense. I don't really like defensive coaches as head coaches unless you're in a situation like Oregon that has a traditionally good offense that recruits offense really well, and now the defense comes and kind of levels that thing out, and makes it where you got the same intensity on both sides of the ball. He's done a really good job with that. He's a great X and O guy. And I mean, what can you say about Kurt Cignetti? Best transfer head coach in the whole college football. He's used the transfer portal to build Indiana really quick into the team that he wants it to be. He was good at James Madison before that. A lot of years in the game. He was with Alabama as an assistant, did a lot of stops at James Madison for 4 or 5 years before going to Indiana. Now they're a powerhouse. Has the Heisman Trophy win over there, Fernando Mendoza, who's probably going to be right down the street from us pretty soon, Skee, because the Raiders are going to take him number one. It's like pretty much a done deal. I like Indiana a lot as a team, but I like Oregon to cover in this game. And the reason why, we're handicappers, bro, and that line is telling me, once again, if the line looks funny, it's probably money. Oregon laid 7.5 last week against Alabama. Alabama's a traditional powerhouse. The books knew that. their AI programs knew that. So when they dropped that line, they were begging you. We've talked about this many times before, Skee, you and I. 7.5 always turns to a blowout. But it's very enticing to a public bettor because they're like, oh man, I know Alabama can keep it within 7. Boom, blowout. The 3 and a hook is very enticing for you to take Indiana or for the 3 because you're saying, man, Indiana just beat them. They beat them by 10 points. They're the best team in the country. I'm not falling for that. I think that Oregon figures out a way to stay in this game. They have more talent. They are missing 2 of their running backs, and one of them is actually 3 of their running backs because 2 of them transferred in the transfer portal. It's weird how the NCAA has the transfer stuff set up. It all occurs while the playoffs are still going. So some of these guys is like, the hell with this. I got to get paid. I'm gone. So they lost Mekhi Hughes, who was their backup running back. He was a star at Tulane. Now he's going to Houston. So they don't have him. The only running back they have is Noah Whittington, who's a really good running back, but he's not used to being the only guy to carry the load. They do have a freshman running back, though, with some speed. It's a very important thing for Oregon to run the ball. They only had 81 yards last time against Indiana, Skee. And in games that Oregon has went over 90 yards, 99 yards rushing, when they hit the 100-yard plateau, they haven't lost a game in 10 years. So they have to run the ball in order to win this game. But I think that 3 and the hook is a really good number for me to land right on the 3. So give me Oregon plus the 3.5. I think that Dante Moore steps up, plays really well. I think that the Oregon defense turns over Fernando Mendoza a couple times and they stay close in this game.
All right, 5-star looking a little towards Oregon's way in this matchup, plus those points. All right, let's scrap them kids. Let's get over to the professionals. We got first game up tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, looking at Rams and Panthers. This one opened up 10, looks like 10.5. Total hasn't really moved too much. The Panthers, they did go and beat the Rams earlier this season, right?
Yeah.
So they are capable. Rams defense not looking so great. Maybe the Panthers can run on them. Maybe I trust the Rams to score. I just don't know how much I trust them to get stops. So 5, I'm thinking a little bit more over. I know you're not doing too much of the totals. What are you thinking about here with Rams and Panthers?
Well, I will do totals. That's over. I hate playing unders, as you know, so I kind of agree with you on that one. I'm trying to check out the weather. Let's see. Oh, nope, that's what I expected. So it's going to be raining really hard in Carolina. Now, we know that affects ball protection. And so you can never factor in when you're doing a handicap or prediction on a game turnovers. But man, with it's going to be 81% humidity with 77% chance of precipitation. Yeah, you know how it gets in Carolina, man. It get muggy and rainy around this time of year. So that's one thing to look at. I know that the Rams are a way more talented team. This is the biggest mismatch on paper in the whole NFL playoffs, but you got to factor in the elements. A little confidence got to have out of Carolina with, one, them being at home, and 2, they had the same setting before and were able to beat the Rams. And in that game, they turned over Stafford. He had 2 interceptions and he had a fumble. Another thing to look at is, besides the run that the Rams had with Matt Stafford where they won the Super Bowl, you take that run out where he had 4 victories, winning in the wild card, winning 2 games in the division, and then winning the Super Bowl. Man, he's only 1-4 in the playoffs. Besides that, he hasn't been a good playoff quarterback. He struggled a lot in the postseason, man, besides that 2021 run. Does have an excellent coach. We know Sean McVay is one of the best in business. 8 wins and 5 losses in the playoffs. He's went to the Super Bowl twice. Dave Canales, Bryce Young, no experience. And sometimes not having any experience is good, you know. And one thing that I've noticed always with Carolina this year is they play really hard for Canales, man. And you and I followed Bryce Young since college. He's one of those guys that I expect to step up in this type of game. I expect him to kind of play his best. And you know how he is, man. Get away and make a little second reaction play. And now he has a real big time wide receiver one, and who I think should be the offensive rookie of the year, and Ted McMillan. I've been a fan of his since Arizona. If you followed the wagering world, you know I told you about Titario McMillan when he was a sophomore at Arizona that he was going to be a star in the NFL. So he's a big time player, has a lot of heart. Bad weather, it's just too many points. I know that the key to victory for the Rams is going to be running the ball, because Carolina is horrible against the run. They're bottom 10 in rush yards allowed. They're bottom 10 in rush yards per attempt, and also rushing attempts against, because teams know that they can run the ball against them. But now will Sean McVay be patient enough to just feed Kyron Williams and, slow down the game and run it? If he does, then I think it might drag out a little bit. And if you get into that type of game, then it'll turn into an ugly contest. And I think the 10.5 points is something that you got to grab.
All right. That's interesting. We'll move over to a game I like a little bit more, Packers and Bears. I'm in my eye here. Packers and Bears opened up as a pick 'em. Now I see Green Bay -1 or 1.5. Um, total did open 46.5 down to 44.5. This is one I feel is very simple. I'm not sure how you're going to look at it, but for me, I'm just thinking this Packers team has shown so many times over and over and over again that they're untrustworthy. I started with the receivers who continuously drop pass after pass, the injuries on the offensive side, obviously, and defensive side too. I mean, no Parsons. The Bears should be able to run all over this Packers defense. Like the
Yeah.
Bears been running on everybody.
Yeah.
So I feel like they've already proven that. Caleb is not gonna have to do too much. I trust Ben Johnson to have have his script ready to go. I think the Bears are the right side here. What do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't argue with you at all. It's going to be a really cold night, 18 miles per hour wind. So that's going to eliminate a lot of the passing. I think that Jordan Love has a strong arm, not as strong as Caleb Williams, but I do think that he's more of a touch passer than Caleb Williams is. So that'll be something to look at. As you said, run game. The Bears run the ball really well with the rookie that they have out of Rutgers, along with DeAndre Swift. Ben Johnson, first playoff experience. As I said, he really calls the run game well. Matt LaFleur has had a lot of success against the Bears, but he hasn't had a lot of success really in the playoffs, man. He's 3-5 in the playoffs. Last 3 times they went to the playoffs, these last 3 years, it's kind of been like barely getting in the 7 seeds and losing in the wild card matchup. I'm also hearing that Matt Ryan is trying to get Matt LaFleur to leave and come be the coach in Atlanta. So you got that going on because this is the last year of LaFleur's contract. It's just a lot of moving parts in Green Bay, man. Ever since that Michael Parsons injury, everything kind of went haywire with their plan. Because if you remember the beginning first game of the season, everyone said the Packers were the favorites to win the Super Bowl. And you and I both never agree with that because I told you I don't trust their receivers. Their receivers have the dropsies. They do not catch the ball well. They do have one reliable receiver in Jaden Reed, and I'm sure that LaFleur be trying to get him the ball and screens and quick passes with the wind being an issue. I think that my approach on this game, I agree with you with Bears full game. A lot of money is on the Bears, so I'm going to stay away from it. But I would probably approach the game with first half Packers plus a half point, only because the Bears have repeatedly started slow this season. You got both these teams aren't really playing at their best right now. Packers 4 games in a row losing. Bears have lost 2 in a row. 2 classic games against each other this year. 2 really good games. One of the oldest rivals. But once again, as I said, Matt LaFleur has had a lot of success against Chicago throughout his career. I'm going to go with the Packers to have a good game plan early, just the first half only, and to have the lead or be tied at halftime and be able to cash that ticket on that, because I would not fade Caleb Williams in the second half. He's been magic in the fourth quarter.
I gotta ask you, off the top of your head, obviously, who's the last good Bears coach Who- Who's the last good coach for the Bears?
I guess Mike Dicker, because they won the Super Bowl. That was 85,
All right,
So,
that's fine.
and I think
So,
he
so,
left at like 89 or 90 and went to the Saints or something like that.
so my point in saying that is throw this
LaFleur's
shit away.
record
Throw
shouldn't,
that shit
yeah,
away.
LaFleur's, but it's the confidence too, Skee. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like you. What's the name of your high school you went to? I know it's a famous high school.
Fairfax,
Fairfax. Who were you guys' rivalry?
Westchester.
Westchester. Okay. Were you known for beating them or were they known for beating you?
It was kind of back and forth for real.
If you had a streak while you were there, like for instance, when I went to school, I went to a school in Louisiana called Ouachita High School. Shout out Ouachita Parish High School, won the state championship this year out there in football in Louisiana. And they beat Ruston. Ruston was our rivalry back then. We were 4-0 against Ruston. My senior year, I was beating them so much. When they pull up, I'm like, man, you feel me? Like, we can, it's Ruston. I think he
Yeah,
still
but
gives him a psychological edge, but it's still decided on the field. So I understand what you're saying with Ben Johnson and everything. It's just I'm going by the trend of all year watching these games. Chicago never starts fast, bro. Like the only game I've seen them play well in the first half has been against San Francisco at the 49ers. So we'll see. I think that Caleb Williams is a kid that's kind of high strung. He's going to be really hyped to show the world that he's great. He wants to be great. And I think early he'll have a little jitterbugs and have some high throws and things like that. Whereas Jordan Love has kind of been in this situation before. I think that I trust the way that the coaching staff for Green Bay is going to approach this game for the first half. But I do not push back through it all for the Bears full game. I think the Bears could figure out a way in the second half to win the game. But in my mind, the game script will go with the Packers playing well early and the Bears playing late.
all right. Next game, we are gonna look at Bills and Jags. Opened up -1 for the Bills. It's either that or a pick 'em, depending where you shop. Total hasn't really moved. This is one where I'm gonna be very simple and once again, I mean, I know that I know Jacksonville has a good run defense. Buffalo, we'll see who's gonna win the battle. The good run defense versus, the good run game for the Bills. But I know who I'm trusting when it comes to quarterback play. It ain't no way in hell. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to knock me out, bro. I'm not picking Trevor Lawrence over Josh Allen. There
Yeah.
is no Lamar Jackson. There's no Patrick Mahomes. This is the easiest road he didn't had to get where he needs to go. I think you're gonna get a really good game from Josh Allen at the very least. I think he can will him to a win, regardless of the rest of the team.
I think his ass going home. I just feel like, put it like this. Josh Allen, you know how I always talk about this. I love Josh Allen. I love Justin Herbert. But I feel about those two quarterbacks the way that the people in control of the media feel about Shedeur Sanders fans. I feel like they're like so over the top with these two dudes, right? And as you said, if Josh Allen doesn't get it done this year, like win, because you have no Patrick Mahomes, you got no Lamar, so you clearly are supposed to be the best quarterback in the AFC in this one. You got this one people don't even talk about. He has the top running back in the whole league. James Cook had the most yards rushing in the entire league. 1,621 yards, 5 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns. Also, on top of that, you got the fact that if Josh Allen loses this game, bro, he joins Phillip Rivers as the quarterback with the most playoff games to never reach a Super Bowl. Well, no, he passes him. Excuse me. He's tied with him already right now. One thing I will say, the Bills have not done him a favor this year with receivers. He has no one to throw it to. Khalil Shakir is his best receiver. And come on, like you want that as your receiver one, 5'10" dude. He went for 700 yards, kind of quick guy, but he should be like a third or fourth option, not the number one option. Keon Coleman, Louisiana boy like myself, I don't think he gets along with Josh Allen. So he doesn't really want to be there. So he's not producing as they expected him to. So the vibe of that Bills team is going to have a lot of pressure on them, Skee. They're the most bet team to win the Super Bowl out of all the teams left in the whole dance. They were bet preseason and they were bet during the year after people started figuring out Mahomes wasn't going to get there. I think this is a day that the books can clean up in all types of methods. They could win not only because people are going to definitely take the Bills because they're a more popular brand. Josh Allen is a more popular player than Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence has been better this year, in my opinion, than Josh Allen. The numbers are about even. You had Josh Allen with 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Trevor Lawrence with 29 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Trevor Lawrence has been playing his ass off, though, man. 9 rushing touchdowns. Everything started clicking for that team when Jacoby Myers came over there and gave him a trusted wide receiver one, because Brian Thomas just wasn't meant to be able to take on double coverage. So Brian Thomas has been able to settle down. They have a real low-key star in Parker Washington. He's dangerous in the punt return game and at receiver. I watched him at Penn State, and he's electric, man. Really strong, fast kid with a lot of shake, a lot of acceleration. I think Jacksonville, with their market and where they play, they're flying under the radar, man. Nobody's paying them any type of attention at all. And I think that they're a lot better than people think. They're good against the run. They're also second in the league behind the Texans with interceptions. And we know Josh Allen will throw the ball away. 22 interceptions for that secondary, third in yards per completion as well. I like Liam Cohen, man. I think he's going to have them boys ready to play, man. So, me personally, I like Jacksonville on this game.
Are we gonna have to talk just a little bit more, man? Because I mean, who the fuck cares what Jacksonville's been doing? I mean, I bet them versus the Chargers. The Chargers are my team because I know it's a bad matchup for the Chargers. The Chargers, right. If you can run the ball, and I know it's a bad matchup. Other than that, who the fuck have they played, bro? Cardinals, Titans, Colts, Jets, the Broncos after they locked up everything. The Colts, the Titans.
They're 4-3 though against winning teams, though, Skee. They're 4-3. The Bills are 2-3 versus winning teams. Who the hell the Bills have played? Who the Bills played? They lost everybody that they played was good.
My point is, I trust Josh Allen.
You telling me what Trevor McDermott?
You telling me what Trevor Lawrence has been doing these past weeks versus all these bums? I don't care about that. I've seen Josh Allen do what he's done. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what Trevor Lawrence has done versus these bums, is what I'm saying to you. That's all.
Josh Allen going to be 30 this season. He's married now. They're setting the things up perfectly for him, and he's still not going to get it done because it's the organization that he's with. When you're with certain teams, you're not going to win. The NFL is kind of set up like wrestling. You know how on WWE, they used to have certain guys like, who I used to think about back then, like maybe like Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik is going to fight his ass off and be popular, but he's not beating Hulk Hogan. That's how the Bills are, bro. Their whole job is to be the lovable losers, to have the fans that jump off on tables and drink beer and all that stuff. It's the franchise, bro. That it's just they're cursed. Sean McDermott is coaching for his whole job right here. He's 7-7 in the playoff. I trust Liam Cohen more than I trust Sean McDermott. That's just me. But I will say this: the Bills have an excellent pass defense. They're really good at stopping the pass. They're horrible against the run. So if Etienne can have a big game and they keep the ball out of Allen's hand, it could be a runaway. But as you said, you can never count out Josh Allen. He's going to keep shooting. So Jacksonville has to play the entire game. Fourth quarter, Allen's going to keep coming, bro. Like, I respect him immensely. It's just that he's in a bad situation with a bad coach, no receivers, great running game, but are they going to trust the running game? Is Joe Brady going to call enough running plays to take the pressure all the way off of him where he could just make a few plays on play action to his really good tight ends? That's what I say. Me personally, I like the Jags to win it. I haven't made an official play on this. I haven't went to the window on it and made a play. But me forecasting this game, I think the Jacksonville can win this game. They're 7-2 at home. I just like Liam Cohen, man. I think Liam Cohen is really good at this thing. I think he's one of those guys who's a diamond in the rough, man, and they found a really good head coach in him. And they're in a pretty good division, man. When you think about them going head on with the Texans and the Colts just fell off after Daniel Jones got hurt, but they were one of the top teams all year before that. And you know about the Texans are solid defense. You got C.J. Stroud. So I look at the Jags as a really good team that's just in a market where no one watches them. And I think the Bills are a little bit value. People, like him because Josh Allen is a real marketable and likable guy. They gave him the MVP last season. And as I said, their fan base, Bills Mafia, is one of the biggest fan bases in the NFL. So we'll see. That's why the line is 1.5, because it's going to be a pick 'em pretty much.
Question. Who do you think is the best coach in NFL?
Right now, I got to go with Vrabel, because beginning of the year, when I did my show and we spoke about the biggest transactions that occurred preseason that was going to benefit teams the most, people said players. And everywhere I went on, whether it was the radio station on ESPN 975 or my show, I said it was Mike Vrabel, because Mike Vrabel is a really good coach who he took the Titans job because it was available, but he maximized the Titans. The Titans were in the AFC Championship game with him, had the best record in the league with him. Now he's back to New England with the Patriots with a solid owner, and look at the turnaround. They got the same exact team from last year, and the only thing they added was Diggs. And, look at the record. So I personally, I put Vrabel up there. I like Ben Johnson. And Liam Cohen is up there. He's a riser.
Andy Reid not on this list no more? I didn't heard you say 1,000 times Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
No. Things change. You got to pivot with information. Andy Reid's system has went stale. If he was that damn good, they'd be in the playoffs right now.
They were just in the Super Bowl, weren't they?
They were, but this year he's falling off, bro. It happens quick.
So he's not a good coach because he had 1 year?
You're going to be running around one day on the court trying to think you can shoot, and your Achilles is going to pop. You're going to say, damn, I'm old.
My point in bringing this up was, you're talking about McDermott and you're talking about Josh Allen's losses in the playoffs. I mean, who have they been losing to? It's only one person. It's only Patrick Mahomes. Are we faulting them for that? No, we're not. So
I'm knocking his ass for that. You crazy. You got to win. It don't matter. It's just like anything in life. Skee. Right
Trevor
now,
Lawrence on his best day is not holding Patrick Mahomes' jockstrap. I don't give a damn that he lost to. I don't care.
Trevor Lawrence was a higher ranked recruit coming out of high school. He was a much better college player than Josh Allen was. Josh Allen is somebody that people have made into a myth. Don't get me wrong. I watched him in Wyoming. I'm the first dude that tweeted about Josh Allen. I wish I still had my old account. 2017 to 16, I was the only person talking about Josh Allen. Like, y'all see this kid in Wyoming, 6'5", this bro, he can run, he can do everything. But with all that said, he's a lot more myth than he is playing, bro. He's a lot more myth than play. And that's why he has this record right now, along with your former Chargers quarterback, Phillip Rivers, is the most playoff wins, and he still can't get it done. It's never excuse. Right now, Skee, you can say, I try every day to bet. I bet for 30 days straight. I'm coming 1 point short. When that rent come, tell them that you don't got that rent and see if that matter. It don't matter, bro. All the excuses that they make for him and Herbert, it don't matter. You got to get it done.
I'm going to just put it just like this. And this is the best way I can put it. During 2000 to 2010 in the NBA, there were two teams running the Western Conference. There were no other teams coming out. Does that mean those players were not good because they didn't come out? No. It just means that there was dominant force, the Lakers and the Spurs. It don't mean that Carmelo wasn't good. It don't mean that nobody else wasn't good. It just means that they ran into that dominant force every time. That is Josh Allen. That is the Bills.
So there's you should probably bet the Bills to go to the Super Bowl.
I'm taking it game by game.
You should probably bet them to take, because I bet anybody on here who wants to bet that the Bills don't go to the Super Bowl this year.
I'm taking it game by game, matchup by matchup. And I just know that Trevor Lawrence versus Josh Allen for my money, it ain't going to happen.
I like Trevor Lawrence, man. Trevor Lawrence can play. This is the first year he had a good coach. He had a good coach with my guy from Monroe who just left, but they had a falling out amongst each other on the team. So it was a bunch of team mess that was going on with that. But if you remember, the first year that he came over there, they went to the playoffs. And remember, that's when your boy was up 27-0 on them. And guess what he did? He walked that shit down 27-0 at halftime to your Chargers. You probably was crying at the book that day.
That's the Chargers. I mean, I've seen that 1,000 times
No,
as a
I'm
Charger
just
fan.
saying, but hey, don't think Trevor Lawrence just some M&M, bro. He's any flavor, bro. That he just had in Jacksonville for one. That's a bad place. Trevor Lawrence and Josh Allen are the same guys. They're both 6'5". They're both strong arms. They both can run. They're both leaders. They're the same guy. Just Trevor Lawrence did it at a bigger stage in college, and he won the championship with Clemson, but he got to the NFL, and he went to Jacksonville where he's hid. No one watches the Jaguars outside of Duval. That's it. Nobody watching that shit.
Do you know why nobody watch it? Because they're playing bums over there. But all
Oh,
right, man.
come on, man. Come on, man. You
Sunshine
from
gonna have to
LA,
show me,
man.
man.
You from
Sunshine
LA
got to
and New
show
York.
me.
People always think the whole world rotates from LA to New York, but it don't.
All right, let's keep going down the list, man. We got a few
Speaking
more.
of Chargers,
All right, let's get to that one. Let's get
they
to
about
that
to
one.
get their bum asses smacked again.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Good. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. That's what
I'm the Chargers fan who's never optimistic. I'm the Chargers fan who never thinks we're going to win anything because I've been a fan all my life. I see what the Chargers do.
Right.
But Harbaugh has made a difference. Yeah, I've seen some things this year that I have not seen being a Charger fan, all my year. I've been a Charger fan since like 2004 or 5.
Okay.
So I like what he's done with the team. This matchup specifically, the Patriots, they don't have no strong defensive line. They don't have no strong run defense. They pass defense is ass. They're not going to be able to take advantage of the weakness for the Chargers. The weakness is the offensive line. If the Chargers would have played the Jaguars, I would bet the Jaguars. But the Patriots can't take advantage of the Chargers' weakness. The Chargers are going to be able to, I say this, I said it all season, I'm going to say it again. The guys that they have available on the line for the Chargers, they cannot pass block for shit. If you got a good pass rush, you're going to tear them up all day. They can run block their ass off. Chargers are going to be able to run the ball. They're going to be able to pass on that sorry-ass secondary. Chargers are going to be able to score. Chargers team total is worth the look. Chargers plus is worth the look. Patriots, we'll see. I mean, yeah, they got a good offense and all that stuff. They're going up against a really good pass defense. Patriots don't have no run game to take advantage of the Chargers' weakness. Like I said, if it was the Jaguars, I'll be on the Jags because they got a run game. They could take advantage. Patriots can't. I got the Chargers.
Best of luck on that one, brother. I'm on the Patriots, and that's an official play.
You go ahead and tell me what you
I already
got.
bet that. I bet that at -3. I already bet it. I took the Patriots, and I kind of unloaded. I put about 10 units on that one. I love the Patriots in this spot. Patriots have won 13 or 14 games, 24 plus points in 12 straight games. Drake May been the best quarterback in the league all year. He has the 100 at least 100 QBR in every game except for 4, and even in those games they went 2-2. 28 points per game, second in the league. They have given up some sacks. They've given out 4-day sacks, but nothing close to what the Chargers have given up. The Chargers, unless John Harbaugh is going to play left tackle and right tackle, how in the hell are they going to win this game? They're 32nd in pass protection, man. The PFF has never rated anyone lower, and they won a playoff game. The lowest rated PFF pass protection team that won a playoff game ever has been like 24th. So I just don't see it. And then you got Herbert playing with one hand. Their top receiver right now is Keenan Allen, old ass. He got the most yards for them, most receptions. I don't know, man. You do have a good pass defense over there. That I give you. You guys a 75% success rate on passes. So that's a really good number. You also allow 4.3 yards a game, though, on the run. So you're saying that the Patriots don't have a run attack. I disagree. I think Ramondre Stevenson is really good, and I know Travion Henderson is good. So I don't know about that. Another thing to look at also is that the Chargers are 29th in red zone offense, bro. So they might end up kicking a bunch of field goals, and then you look at the Patriots, they only allow 18 points per game, and then you got a guy like Vrabel who's going to be drawing up things to take advantage of the fact that they can't pass protect. The Patriots don't even blitz a lot. I guarantee you they're going to blitz this game. They're going to try to get into situations where they're making those tackles think. You still have Harold Landry is a really good defensive end over there. You got Chase on. He's a good defensive end. I think that they're going to be able to get to the quarterback some. Another thing to look at on this game as well is the fact that this game is in Foxborough. Like, this is an outdoor game for a dome team going outside late night, playing in a stadium with a lot of lore, with a lot of crazy fans who bring in that energy, man. I just don't see it done. If they get it done, more props to them. But I know for right now, I'm not betting on them, especially when you look at the history that your boy has in the playoffs. Justin Herbert is one of the worst playoff quarterbacks in the history of sports, bro. And until he shows me something different, I cannot trust him. In his career as a quarterback in the playoffs, Justin Herbert has a 50% completion percentage, 50.7%. So I'll give him 51%. He has a 60% rating at QBR in the playoffs. He also has thrown 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in the playoffs. And he's 0-3. I'm not rolling with him until he shows me something different. I think that Drake May has a lot of confidence. I think he's a cocky little kid. And I think that all of the forces and the energy of that Foxborough crowd and that Patriots, lore is going to help them get this one done. I think this is a really tough spot for the Chargers, bro, going across, the country. I do think that you guys have a great coach in Jim Harbaugh. He's a solid coach. Been to the NFC Championship game twice with the Niners, took him to the Super Bowl and everything. He can coach his ass off. So it's not on him. It's just that you guys don't have any offensive tackles. Like, that's hard to win like that on the road, in my opinion. And I don't think that the run game for the Chargers is good enough to take advantage of the Patriots' weakness, man. Give me the
oh man, I'm not gonna lie, Five. I will be the first one to tell you that you know more about football than me.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you this too. I 1000% watch more Chargers than you do, and I'm telling you from hearing you talk. And I've had these debates with other people during the season, and I've been pretty right during most of the games. I bet somebody on Chargers futures this season $500. I was right. Everything you saying, I've already addressed, or I can address. You're talking about the tackles. I've already talked about that, bro. The Patriots don't have a good defensive line. The Chargers can run block. They can't pass block. They're going to be able to run the ball on the Patriots. If the Patriots blitz, the Chargers, they've had all of these weeks to play without them tackles. What you think they've been doing?
They give up the highest pressure rate in the league and have given up the most sacks in the league.
Let me tell you. I watched it. You're looking at the numbers. I'm telling you what I saw.
Yeah, I watched it too.
Okay,
so I don't give a damn about no numbers. I bet off my eyes. You know that.
Okay, so let me tell you. You telling me numbers. I'm telling you what I done watched. The teams
I'm backing up my argument. That's all.
I know. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the numbers, but I'm gonna tell you, I watch the Chargers every game, all game long. I don't flip the channel. I watch the Chargers. The teams that blitz, they had to deal with that. Don't you think other teams gonna blitz when you got weak tackles? What did they do? They start getting off the ball faster, getting them little quick passes. They already used to all of this shit. Everything that you're saying, they've been dealing with this shit for the back half of the season. You talk about their struggles in the red zone. I'm pretty sure somebody can double check me and fact check me on this. The Patriots, probably up until 2 weeks ago, I stopped watching. They were giving up a score in every goal-to-goal situation. Every time somebody gets down there, they were scoring because their defense is ass. The Patriots,
they're 30th in the red zone. They're 30th in the red zone, but they also allow the least amount of trips to the red zone.
My point is, the Chargers struggles, it's going to be okay because the Patriots suck down there when they get there. As far as why the Patriots have looked so good this year, before the season started, I knew this already. They have the easiest schedule. This shit was set up for them to have success. They were the number one on my list of all the notes that I did for win totals. Right. Their schedule was easy as fuck. So who cares that they beat on all these? Who cares about all this shit?
We're talking about Skee.
And I'm gonna tell you one more thing. Last thing. You're talking about the Chargers' history. I'm the first one to tell you the Chargers have been sorry as fuck all my life. We've had sorry coach after sorry coach after sorry coach. I don't give a damn about what they've done.
Who was the coach last year when we beat the hell out the Chargers in Houston?
All of the Chargers coaches have been sorry. I'm telling you.
Who was the coach last year when we beat the hell out the Chargers in Houston?
Okay. Well, what I'm telling you is this season, like I said, for the Chargers, I've seen something different. I'm not talking about I seen something different last year because I didn't. I didn't trust him last year. I sounded the same way like I did every year. This year I've seen something different. Herbert has looked more comfortable. We're gonna throw everything from the playoffs out. All of that old shit from the chart, we're gonna throw it out.
All right.
So I see a path to success.
I'm glad you see that. Put your money up, make your bet. Best of luck on you. There's nothing wrong. That's why it's two sides to a game. But I see this game completely different. And you know I don't give a damn about numbers. I'm talking about numbers to back what I'm saying, to give the audience information. My eyes tell me Drake May is a much more confident and much more efficient quarterback this year than Justin Herbert. He has
I like
a lot
Drake, man.
more weapons, and he also is just playing with a lot more confidence. And I also think that Vrabel is a hell of a coach. Like it's not just one coach out there who's been successful in the past. Vrabel has had a lot of success, not only as a player, but also as a coach. And he's played and coached in more playoff games, I'm sure, than Jim Harbaugh. They got to be neck and neck because Harbaugh played too. He was a quarterback. They didn't win anything when he played. But you got to remember, Vrabel won 5 championships. Every championship damn near that Brady has outside of the Bucs, he was right there too. If he wasn't playing, he was an assistant coach with the team. I think that Vrabel prepares his team for this moment. And I think that Patriots franchise is just on a different level. It's just like you talk about your NBA guy. You already know Charlotte can have a hell of a year. If they come pull up on Boston and pull up on the Celtics in the playoffs, you know what's about to happen. And I feel like it's two franchises that it's just you got an elite franchise against one of those just teams. And it's only so much. Justin Herbert is one of my favorite players to ever play in the NFL. I love his game. I love his size. I love his heart. I love how he plays hurt. I love how he could throw that ball and thread needles. I still remember his first game as a rookie starting against Kansas City. I was like, this dude is Hall of Fame material. He can't do it with the shit that's going on around him, man. They never have him with an offensive line. He does have decent receivers, but what about the running game? That running game is horrible. You're going to trust Vidal to be the running back?
The Chargers' run game is horrible. Is that what you said?
Yes.
They got Hampton. They got Vidal. Oh, come on, man. You ain't been watching them. You ain't been watching them. You ain't been watching them enough.
Man, I've been watching Amari and Hampton since his first game in North Carolina.
I'm talking about the Chargers' run game. You ain't been watching the Chargers' run game enough.
They don't have a good run game.
Every 90% of what you just said, I agree with. But I ain't rolling with that last one. We'll see how it shakes out.
We're going to see. Look, that's a night game. So I'm going to have to come worry your ass. I'm going to come to put up your spot. So you will see 5 and Skee at Westgate. And I'm going to make sure to buy a Chargers jersey for Red and give it to him. I'm gonna give him a nice Chargers Dan Fouts jersey, a nice powder blue one that I know he's gonna love. And I'm gonna say, here you go, Red.
Hey man,
Red gonna go to
you see Red with that powder blue on, we might be cooked. I ain't gonna lie. All right, we got 2 more. Yeah, always. We got 2 more, and these last 2, I don't have strong opinions on. So. We're gonna go over.
I got a strong one on the last one, but this game is the toughest damn game to bet on the board, bro. Because you got 2. We were just talking about franchises. What they know? These 2 heavyweights. This is Hulk Hogan going against the Undertaker. You know what I'm saying? Like these are 2 big dogs in this wrestling shit that's called the NFL right here. These are 2 beloved franchises. 2 franchises that have always delivered in the playoffs and represented well. 2 excellent playoff coaches, 2 excellent playoff quarterbacks. Kyle Shanahan is 8-4 in the playoffs, 2 Super Bowls, 4 trips to the NFC Championship game. Brock Purdy, you know I talk shit about Brock Purdy, but he plays his ass off in the playoffs. That's one thing I can say about him. He's 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, 96.2 QBR through his career. 4-2's been to the Super Bowl already. Other side, you got Nick Sirianni, who's also excellent, 6-3, and his career parallels with Jalen Hurts because he's always been his quarterback. So Jalen Hurts is also 6-3, 2 Super Bowls for those guys, 1 Super Bowl victory last year to the defending champs. A little bit down this year because Saquon Barkley hasn't been the same. You know how I go. He went and seen Trump every time. every time they get to doing stuff like that, they don't get any good results. It's like the energy of the world says, stop it, So he hasn't been good this year ever since he went and hung with Trump. But the Eagles, they have this thing that worries me, Skee, about the Eagles. They're boom or bust. It's like every year, either they go to the Super Bowl or they lose in the first round. You know what I mean? So they got to be careful in this one. What I will say is Jalen Hurts has never lost a playoff game in Philadelphia. That's great. Another thing I can say about him is that he holds the record for the most consecutive playoff games with 20-plus pass attempts with no interceptions. So he protects the ball. They don't turn the ball over. We know that Vic Fangio is going to have that defense ready to play. This one is just a good game. If I leaned anyway, it'd probably be the Niners with the points, just strictly off the fact that you're giving up a whole touchdown to Shanahan and the offense who looked really good all year until last game against Seattle. And when they came out in those all-black jerseys, I knew they were washed anyway. They'll be back in their traditional uniforms this week. And I think that their offense is going to respond because they looked really bad last week. Eagles, they've been kind of just in a lull all year, man. They just haven't been all the way right. And it all starts with the offensive coordinator. He'll be a one-and-done guy. And the year that they lost if you remember, they lost in the first round to the Bucs the year before winning the Super Bowl last year. And the reason why is because their OC wasn't good. They were having problems with running the offense and putting points up, and they might run into that again. I have no official play on this one, just a really good game to watch, but I'd lean towards the Niners with the points.
All right. Only thing I'll say is Philly is healthy right now, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think everyone's playing. I believe everyone's playing. Their defensive line was beat up, and Jalen Carter equals wins for them, and Lane Johnson. Those two are
right. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, those are the two most important for those guys.
So, that game, tough game.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Houston and Pittsburgh. Honestly, I haven't thought about this game much, probably because it's on Monday, and I usually just don't really put too much thought until Monday.
Right.
But looking at it right now, one thing is, one team I can trust to get stops. The other team I can't trust to stop a soul.
Yeah.
So I would be putting my money on a team I could trust to get a stop.
Texas, fewest points, yards allowed per game, third lowest completion percentage allowed. The Steelers have been better of late. I think they've averaged 26 points in the last 6 of 8 games or so. So, of course, Aaron Rodgers, is doing his thing because they're allowing him. You know how Aaron Rodgers is. That was his problem in Green Bay with LaFleur's because he wanted to call his own shit. He doesn't like to listen to coaches. He feels like he's watched enough football and played enough to get them in a successful situation on offense, in a way to be successful on offense, I should say. Mike Tomlin, trust him. Just do what you want to do. DK Metcalf is coming back, so the Texans have to be careful about that. Also, Steelers pride themselves on offensive line ever since the franchise has been around, so that's something to watch for. It's just the Texans got put in a really bad spot here where this game could be a lot jinkier than people think just because we know the Steelers have not lost a Monday Night Football game at home since 1991. That's ridiculous, bro. That's like you weren't even born yet, right? So, 1991, 23 consecutive Monday Night Football wins for Tomlin. But on the reverse side, Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game since 2016, excuse me. So, he's not been good in the playoffs. He's lost 7 straight playoff games. And if you look at the back end for the Steelers, they suck. As you said, they can't stop a nosebleed. You could just pick on Jalen Ramsey all day. They're the worst in the league against the tight end. So expect CJ to definitely be looking at his tight end a lot. And his tight end was had the second most yards and catches on the team. I also think Nico Collins is going to have a big game as well. CJ has a really good record in the playoffs, man. He's 3-1 against the spread as a better. You want to back CJ in these situations. DeMeco Ryans has established himself as one of the best coaches in the league, period. So I know he'll have a lot of things. The way I'm going to approach this game is I'm going to wait and fill out the market. Right now, it's looking good like we could bet the Texans pretty heavy, but I'm going to wait. As you said, it's a Monday game, so you wait till Monday because it might be an influx of money and flips everything. But right now, I bet the Texans because it's one of those things that I'm so smart. All the sharps, they're all talking Steelers. They all like the Steelers in this game. I haven't heard a lot of guys who bet professionally say that they like the Texans. So that gives me a thing to think, okay, well, now if we get the money right, it'll be more about football. And if it's about football, the Texans are going to beat their ass. It's simple as that, because the Texans are just a better team than the Steelers are, all the way around at every position. So another thing we're going to keep in mind to watch for is TJ Watt. He can change the game around. He equals wins, because Ursery, who's the rookie offensive tackle for the Texans, has not been that good this year. He's gave up 8 sacks, but surprisingly, the Texans are top 10 in protecting the quarterback. So they have this myth about the Texans that, the offense doesn't block for CJ. That was more last year. They're doing better this year. What I would for sure bet right now, if I could find it, is over on the receptions for Kenneth Gainwell. That's been money for me every week, bro. They're having it at 3.5, 4.5. Aaron Rodgers is going to be having to get rid of the ball quick, because we know Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson are going to be on his ass. So look for Kenneth Gainwell to go over 3.5, 4.5 receptions very, very easily, and his reception yards, because he's been the best player on that team. He was the Steelers MVP for the team this year. So that's something to look at. But I think that the Texans are ready to make a long run in the playoffs. They just have to get through this one. I think we'll see the best version of C.J. Stroud. The Steelers struggle with stopping the pass.
All right, that's the show for today. I got to talk a little bit more NBA with some homies after this. So
yeah,
I think we did a pretty good job. We're on here for 51 minutes.
Yeah,
we got through the college football playoffs and the NFL playoffs. So I know you don't usually do a best bet. If you want to do a recap or whatever, feel free. Or anything you want to say to people before we get out of here.
Man, y'all go to www.thewagerworld.com. You see the gear I have on now live from Summerlin. We got that, and we got other Wagering World products. You guys know what I love, tennis, and tennis is back. And we've been eating on it really well. I was talking to Skee this morning about the tennis matches and what I played recently. Let's give out a quick tennis match real quick.
Mirror match fixer.
Yeah, mirror match fixer. That was easy money right there if I've ever seen it before. I think that we got to go to, let me see. I don't have the number. I like Mahova tonight against Sal's for sure, for real, too. We're going to go with your girl. How do you say it? Because you say you know about the Philippines.
Iyala.
I've been talking to her forever. Iyala against Wang Zin. I think that Iyala is in position this year, Skee, to have a really good year. She might become a top 15 player this year. She has the whole country behind her, and she has the whole WTA world behind her as well. She's a really popular player. Everyone loves her. She's at -200, -2.5 at -125. I'll probably play the -2.5, -125 for her. But also, guys, keep your eyes on some upsets. They're not official plays for me, but I'm just throwing it out there to keep your eyes on. Eva Jovic, she can win at +240 against Svitolina. Svitolina had a really tough match last night against the girl from England. I forgot the girl's name she played, but they went deep. They went 3 sets and win the tiebreak in the third. And you know that Svitolina is getting a little bit older, and she's married now. So she's not as young as she was before and is spry. And you got Jovic is like 18 and full of energy, bro, and she wants to whoop ass. So she's been really hot the last 2 years. Watch her at the +240. And also keep an eye on my girl, Karol Muchova. When Muchova is right, you know she gives all the top girls problems. We've been betting her for years, Skee. She's +320. She won for me against Rybakina yesterday at +330. So I think that Karol can give Sabalenka some problems. They got her at +4.5 at -105. They've had some battles through the years, but she's one of the few players that's had a lot of success against Sab. So you guys, just as a lean, keep your eyes on Muchova at +320, Jovic at +240. But my official play for you guys will be -2.5 on Iyala. Is that right?
At close enough.
They're -200 on Iyala. That's in WTA, man.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, I haven't made any football bets or anything, so I can't really give you guys anything like that. Tonight I did bet. What did I bet? I bet something in the NBA. Let me see. Can I give y'all something? Get it back over to basketball odds. What did I take? I took the Sixers, and I took the first half under in the Raptors and Boston game. I believe I got 108. So that's what I'm rocking with for today. 5, good to be back doing a show with you. Always good, breaking down these games. Definitely helps out people in the chat. We appreciate you. Hit the like button on the show. Definitely helps us out. And yeah, best of luck everybody on all your action. We can come do this again next week, Vi.
Man, I look forward to it. You guys put in Kenneth Gainwell as well. Over 40 yards. Skee is at plus 122 right now. I think he flies over that. And also on his receptions, the over and under right now is at over 5.5 at plus 118. So just grab the plus 5 at minus 120 or minus 130, wherever you can find it. So Kenneth Gainwell is an official play. If you guys want the information for the exact plays that I'm going to be playing for this weekend, you reach out to me on the DM. I have a spot for you in the private group. I appreciate you, Skee. And I'll see you probably later on today.
All right, y'all. Best of luck. Peace.